I think this was a very dicey move because I think this very much opens up interpretation to what Blake Lively is saying was uncomfortable, and the key word here, unwelcome.
Liz Plank was out, instantly said she quit, a show of support and solidarity with Blake after everything dropped, and people began looking into it.
Breaking news. Justin Baldoni just secured a monumental win, leaving Blake Lively in a whirlwind of public scrutiny and career uncertainty. But let's not sugarcoat it. This isn't just another Hollywood feud. It's a full-blown spectacle, and the fallout is juicier than anyone could have anticipated. So grab your popcorn because we're diving deep into the drama that's got everyone talking.
I believe that it's a continuation of the smear campaign that Blake initially claims happened while they were promoting the film.
Let's start with what went down. Picture this. Blake Lively, Hollywood's golden girl known for her sophisticated demeanor and picture-perfect life with Ryan Reynolds, suddenly finds herself in the middle of a legal and public relations catastrophe. It all began with what was supposed to be a passion project, a film adaptation of the beloved book It Ends With Us. Justin Baldoni, the actor-turned-director, was spearheading the project alongside Wayfair Studios. Enter Lively, cast as the lead. What could possibly go wrong, right? Well, apparently, everything.
I said that having read through Blake Lively's complaints, that it was evident to me that she was likely under the influence when she filed her complaints.
Behind the scenes, Lively wasn't just content with being the star of the film. Oh no, she reportedly wanted to oversee every aspect of production, from rewriting scenes to tweaking costumes, and even deciding who stayed and who got the boot. Sources inside Wayfair Studios alleged that Lively's involvement went far beyond the typical input an actor might provide. She effectively took over, sidelining professionals who had been brought on by Baldoni. Reports suggest that Lively brought in her own team, a wardrobe designer, a composer, and even an editor, to reshape the movie into her personal vision. And let's be clear, this wasn't out of the goodness of her heart. It was an attempt to assert complete creative control.
That's it. There he is, creepy Baldoni. Getting close to her, obviously making small chatter not in character so as not to make the scene, which didn't require dialogue, awkward.
Baldoni, who had invested years into bringing the project to life, found himself in a battle for authority over his own film. Imagine the tension on set. One insider described it as hostile, with clashing egos and constant power plays behind the camera. The breaking point, Lively's decision to hold an unauthorized screening of an unfinished version of the movie at a literary event. Yes, you heard that right. She reportedly took an incomplete cut of the film onto an airplane, on a hard drive, no less, and showcased it without the studio's approval. This move not only blindsided Baldoni and Wayfair Studios, but also disrupted the carefully planned timeline for the film's release. And let's just say, Hollywood doesn't take kindly to rogue screenings. Studio executives were livid, and Baldoni now had a smoking gun for his legal counterattack.
Literally, I'm just asking the question, like, how are women allowed to do this, to take something and to make it sound like you survived a... Because that's what it sounded like to the public.
And speaking of courtrooms, let's talk about how this played out legally. Lively's team, in what many are calling a desperate attempt to control the narrative, filed multiple motions to silence Baldoni and his lawyer, Brian Friedman. They sought a gag order to prevent Friedman from discussing the case publicly, arguing that his statements could harm Lively's reputation. But guess what? The judge wasn't buying it. The motion was denied outright, giving Friedman free rein to dismantle Lively's claims in the court of public opinion. And oh, has he been vocal? Friedman accused Lively of hypocrisy, pointing out that while she wanted Baldoni's team to keep quiet, she had no problem leaking sensitive details to the media to sway the narrative in her favor. Lively's legal maneuvers didn't stop there. She also tried to avoid deposition, clearly wanting to sidestep intense questioning from Baldoni's legal team. But again, the court wasn't having it. The ruling mandated that Lively participate, opening the door for potentially incriminating details to come to light. This wasn't just about creative disagreements anymore. This was about exposing manipulation, deceit, and power plays that tarnished not only the film's production, but also the reputations of everyone involved.
I have got some major scoops. I mean, everybody's talking because the sink is shipping and people want to get onto lifeboats. So let's jump right in. Welcome back to Camp.
And let's not overlook Ryan Reynolds, who's been pulled into this mess by association. Allegations suggest that Reynolds supported Lively's takeover attempts, possibly to set the stage for a sequel. But some insiders are speculating that his involvement was rooted in jealousy. Remember the intimate dance scene between Lively and Baldoni's characters? Fans couldn't help but notice its uncanny resemblance to the iconic scene in Green Lantern where Lively and Reynolds first fell in love. Coincidence? Many think not. Reynolds' reported discomfort with Lively and Baldoni's on-screen chemistry has fueled rumors that he may have pushed Lively to wrest control of the project. And let's be real, Reynolds is no stranger to the power plays of Hollywood, but this time, it seems his machinations have backfired spectacularly.
So I'm just going to very quickly, before I give you all of the tea that I got over the weekend. I'm going to go over the biggest revelations from the filing.
Public perception has been brutal. Fans and industry insiders alike have been quick to call out Lively for what they see as overreach and manipulation. One fan commented, "What's crazy is she wanted to direct, but didn't even read the book. Her choices literally contradicted so much of the book. Wearing only name brands like Louis Vuitton's when her character was a struggling small business owner? Ouch." This sentiment has been echoed across social media, with many accusing Lively of completely missing the mark on what made the original story so compelling. Her insistence on glamming up a character meant to represent resilience and relatability has left fans disappointed and, frankly, outraged.
He literally tells Ryan he wants to be friends with you. And I can just see Ryan sitting there like, yes, this is exactly what I want, a puppy to kick in the mouth.
And then there's Baldoni. While his career has taken a hit amid these allegations, he's managed to position himself as the underdog in this narrative, a David fighting a Goliath-like couple with immense influence in Hollywood. Some fans have rallied behind him, pointing out the unfairness of the situation. One particularly scathing comment read, "Criminals. This was an attempted heist and destroyed the career of Baldoni." It's clear that public opinion is divided, but the tide seems to be turning in Baldoni's favor, especially as more details emerge about Lively's behind-the-scenes behavior.
And one of the most significant allegations in Baldoni's lawsuit is that Lively sought to gain control over the editing process of it.
The industry has taken notice too. Studios are reportedly rethinking their willingness to work with Lively, given the drama and disruption she's brought to this project. Sony, for instance, has reportedly paused discussions about potential future collaborations with her. And Netflix, which had been considering her for a lead role in an upcoming thriller, has allegedly scrapped the idea altogether. The message is clear: Hollywood doesn't have time for this kind of chaos, no matter how big your name might be. But let's not forget the ripple effect this has had on Reynolds. His untouchable status in Hollywood is now being questioned, with some insiders speculating that his involvement in this debacle could tarnish his brand. Reynolds has always been the charming, quick-witted star who could do no wrong, but this legal mess has exposed a different side of him, one that's willing to play dirty to protect his interests. And let's be honest, that's not a good look for someone whose entire career is built on being likable.
Sidebar, Blake Lively's team has denied all of these allegations. They have responded to...
But let's be real, this story is far from over. With depositions, court dates, and potential box office disasters looming on the horizon, the drama is only just beginning. Will Lively manage to salvage her reputation, or is this the beginning of the end for one of Hollywood's most celebrated stars? And what about Baldoni? Can he turn this legal mess into a career comeback, or will the shadow of this scandal follow him forever? One thing's for sure, everyone will be watching. The drama continues, and if you thought things couldn't get messier, just wait. Hollywood may be the land of reinvention, but Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are finding out the hard way that even the brightest stars can't escape the fallout when the industry decides it's had enough. And now, the ripple effect of this legal saga is shaking up not just their careers, but also the entire perception of their once untouchable image.
For most of his career, he has been a major proponent of feminism, of healthy masculinity. How does it feel for him, though?
Let's dive into how the industry is reacting to this debacle. Studio executives are known for having short memories when it comes to scandals. After all, money talks, but this time, it's different. Blake Lively's actions on It Ends With Us have left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. Imagine being a producer pouring millions into a project, only to watch it crumble because the lead actress decided she knew better than the professionals hired to do the job. That's exactly what's happening here. One insider reportedly told Variety that Lively's reputation has become toxic, with some studios quietly shelving projects that were in early discussions with her. This isn't just about this one film, it's about trust. Can she be relied upon to stick to her role, or will she try to take over the next production she's a part of?
Shutting down a woman's claims.
She is claiming that there was sexual harassment. He's saying none of it is true, never happened, never did.
Even Netflix, a platform that thrives on star power, has apparently backed away. Rumor has it that Lively was being considered for a lead role in a high-profile thriller, but after the headlines started piling up, the talks mysteriously went silent. And when Netflix doesn't want to touch a star as bankable as Blake Lively, you know the situation is dire. This is the same platform that gave Ryan Reynolds multiple big-budget deals, yet even his influence couldn't salvage her chances. Public relations experts are calling this one of the worst career implosions in recent memory. The damage isn't just limited to Lively. Ryan Reynolds, who has long been Hollywood's golden boy, is now facing questions about his involvement in the entire mess. Reports suggest that Reynolds wasn't just a supportive husband standing on the sidelines. Allegedly, he played a significant role behind the scenes, backing Lively's power moves and, in some cases, encouraging them. And let's not forget the rumors swirling about his jealousy regarding certain scenes in the film. Fans have pointed out how eerily similar the intimate dance scene between Lively and Baldoni's characters was to the iconic moment from Green Lantern, the very scene where Lively and Reynolds first fell for each other. While it's easy to dismiss this as coincidence, many are speculating that Reynolds wasn't thrilled about the comparisons, especially given the undeniable chemistry between Lively and Baldoni on screen.
Nobody, genuinely, Steph, if you're watching this, I genuinely don't like Blake Lively. Like, I genuinely know, I've known she's a brat. Nobody's paying me to say this.
And Reynolds' reputation isn't just taking a hit because of his behind-the-scenes involvement. His decision to joke about the legal drama during public appearances has only added fuel to the fire. Fans who once praised his sharp wit and charm are now calling him out for being tone-deaf. One particularly scathing social media post read, "Ryan's always been quick with a joke, but maybe he should sit this one out." It's not a good look to make light of something that's clearly affecting so many people. The backlash has been swift, with some even questioning whether his carefully curated image as Hollywood's lovable rogue was just that, an image.
No one's told me to say this. I think people really didn't like her during those premiere things, and there was no plot against you, okay? Come down from your high horse.
If that wasn't enough, Reynolds' own career could face collateral damage. Studios are undoubtedly taking note of how closely he's tied to the drama, and while his star power is undeniable, no one wants to invest in a project that comes with this level of baggage. Imagine the pitch meeting. We've got Ryan Reynolds, but oh, by the way, his name is currently trending for all the wrong reasons. Not exactly a selling point, right? But let's circle back to Blake Lively's decisions on the set of It Ends With Us. Fans and critics alike have been quick to dissect her choices, and one major point of contention has been her apparent disregard for the source material. Remember, this is a beloved book with a massive following, and fans were counting on the film to stay true to its roots. Instead, Lively reportedly made decisions that completely contradicted the essence of her character. The character of Lily Bloom is supposed to be relatable, someone who struggles, who fights, who represents resilience, decking her out in luxury brands. That's a slap in the face to the story's core themes and the fans who adore it.
That Justin won't be bullied by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. So his lawyer told us that their recent court filings show how scared they are.
This disconnect between Lively's vision and the story's intent has only deepened the divide between her and the film's audience. It's one thing to take creative liberties. It's another to completely rewrite the narrative to serve your own agenda. And let's not forget the unauthorized screening, an act that not only violated industry norms, but also showed a blatant disregard for everyone else involved in the project. It's no wonder Baldoni's team pounced on this in court, using it as evidence of her overreach and lack of professionalism. And speaking of Baldoni, let's talk about how he's navigated this chaos. While his career has undeniably taken a hit, he's lost multiple projects, and even representation, he's managed to position himself as the underdog in this narrative. His legal team has been relentless in countering Lively's claims, releasing evidence that challenges her accusations and paints a different picture of what went down on set. One particularly damning piece of evidence was a series of text messages between Baldoni and Isabella Ferrer, the young actress who played the teenage version of Lively's character. In these messages, Ferrer praised Baldoni for creating a safe and welcoming environment on set, comments that seemed to contradict Lively's allegations of a hostile work environment. And while Ferrer later distanced herself from Baldoni, many are speculating that this was a calculated move, possibly influenced by Lively during their promotional tour.
But yeah, it's just getting super nasty, and it seems like he's not cowering to this attempted gag order.
Yeah, I don't really understand Blake Lively's point.
The industry is watching all of this unfold with bated breath, and comparisons to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial are inevitable. Like that case, this one has become a public spectacle, with both sides airing their grievances in the court of public opinion. But here's the thing, even if Baldoni wins his legal battle, the damage to his career may already be done. Hollywood is notoriously unforgiving, and being at the center of such a high-profile controversy often leaves a stain that's hard to wash away. So, what's next for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds? Well, Lively's next film is set to release in 2025, and all eyes will be on its box office performance. If it flops, it could be the final nail in the coffin for her career. And while Reynolds might still have the star power to keep his projects afloat, the question is whether studios will want to take the risk. After all, Hollywood is a business, and no one wants to bet on a brand that's perceived as unstable.
This tool of a lawsuit or whatever to get it into the public atmosphere, and now you're not going to allow me the chance to respond in the same avenue?
And let's not forget the fans. Social media has become a battleground, with opinions flying left and right. Some firmly Team Baldoni, believing he's been unfairly targeted and that Lively and Reynolds orchestrated a deliberate smear campaign. Others are still trying to make sense of the conflicting narratives, unsure of who to believe. And then there are those who are just here for the drama, eagerly waiting for the next twist in this never-ending saga.
But this is such a interpretation of perspective, because I watched the footage, and I'm sure we all have, and, it's very easy to argue.
As this story continues to unfold, one thing is clear. the stakes couldn't be higher. For Lively, this is about more than just one film. It's about salvaging her reputation and proving that she's not the manipulative figure many now believe her to be. For Baldoni, it's about reclaiming his career and showing the industry that he's more than the sum of these allegations. And for Reynolds, it's about maintaining his golden boy image in the face of mounting scrutiny. So, what do you think? Can Blake Lively bounce back from this, or has Hollywood already made up its mind? And will Justin Baldoni manage to turn this debacle into a comeback story, or is he destined to be another casualty of Hollywood's unforgiving nature? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to stay tuned for more updates on this unfolding drama. After all, in Hollywood, the story is never really over.